Good morning. This is Elena, and it's Friday, it's February 10th. And today, I want to talk about the easiest way to calculate your calories and macros to lose weight and fat. And if you are here live, welcome. And if you are watching this video later, you can pause and watch the process on how to calculate your calories and macros. And I'm gonna show you the easiest way. In because when I work with clients, when I make all the math and all the calculations, I take into consideration several components. But today, let's make things super easy, super simple, so you can apply this. When this video is done, you can right away calculate your own numbers and know exactly what to do, and leave this video saying, hey, I have an idea on how to do my own calculations to start my journey of maybe losing some pounds or losing fat. Because when we lose weight, we just don't want to lose weight. We want to make sure that it's fat and we are not losing lean muscle. And I can talk about that in another video, how important it is to keep and maintain your muscle mass, especially as we get older. Muscle is a treasure, is gold, and we're going to keep it as long as possible. So this is Elena Rivera Galaz. I'm a nutrition coach, personal trainer, and master health coach. And I'm live on Facebook and on Instagram. So my eyes are going up and down. And I help my clients to get results without dieting, without restrictions, through nutrition, exercise, and behavior changes. Because if you change your body, but you don't change your habits, your mindset, chances are that those results are not going to last very long. Super easy to go back to our old habits when we haven't created that strong foundation first. So let's get it done. And if you have questions, if you want to say hi, just drop the comments, and I will read all the comments later, and I will answer all the questions. And let's get it done. Let's get to business. If you have a pen and a piece of paper, you can do your own numbers as we go. And I'm gonna try to make this video as short as possible, 10 minutes the most. So let's get it done. So first, and I'm gonna use an example because that's, I think, is easier. I have my board here. Maybe you see a lot of numbers, but I promise this is gonna be super easy. And let's say we have somebody who weighs 180 pounds. And the goal for that person is to go down to 150. So that person, let's say she wants to lose 30 pounds. So first, how do we calculate a healthy deficit calories to start with? So first, I set a first goal of 10. Let's break down those 30 pounds into 3 goals. First goal, let's say we want to lose the first 10 pounds. So our first goal is go down from 180 to 170 pounds. Okay, so if you are a person who works in a desk, like you sit for a lot of hours, but you work out, let's say 2-3 times per week. So we consider those sedentary who work out 2-3 times per week. You are gonna grab those 170 pounds, the first goal, and multiply for 10. That's it. So that's it. I have calories here, macros here. So the first goal is go down to 170 pounds, multiply 170 per 10. 10 times is 1,700 calories. That would be your first deficit to start with. Then, if you said, but Elena, my work is more active. I work out 2-3 times or 4 times a week, and then my work, I move, or in my daily activity is a little bit more than just sitting. So you can go and multiply those 170 pounds per 11 times. That's 1,870 calories. If you are more active, you work out and your work is very active, go and do those 170 pounds 12 times, which is 2040 calories. See, very sedentary, workout 2-3 times. We are going to multiply the first goal, body weight, per 10, 11 or 12. You can even go higher. If you are super active, you work out 6 times a week, you can go and go up to 13 or multiply for 14. So that's your first deficit. And with this, if try it for a few days. If you, after a week, and give your body a little bit of time, because your body, if you are eating, let's say, I don't know, 2,000, 3,000 calories, and then you go down, and well, if you eat 3,000 calories, I wouldn't go down to 17 at once at all. I would go down slowly. But your body is gonna fight against that change. Body doesn't like that change. So give a few days, but if after a week you are very hungry, you can increase the amount for 100 or 200 calories. Okay, so that's your first deficit. Let's say now you have your calories, and now you wanna calculate your macros. But first, let's define what macros are. Macros, the easiest way to explain macros is what the food that we eat is made of. Macros are, we have 3: proteins, carbs, and fats. And basically, usually all the foods have the 3 of them, or 2-3 of the macros, most of the foods. But we categorize foods by the macro that is more abundant. Like if that food has more protein, so we categorize that food as a protein source. Like meat, for instance, has some fat and protein, but has more protein depending on the meat. So we said like chicken is mostly protein, and depending on the part of the chicken. Okay, but let's make things easy. So each macro, proteins, 1 gram of protein has 4 calories. 1 gram of carbohydrates has 4 calories as well, but fats has 9 calories. So why is important to focus on macronutrients, not only on calories? Because we want to make sure first that we get enough nutrients, that we are satisfied, we are not hungry. I don't encourage to lose weight and feeling hungry all the time. That's not the goal. And I ditch all the diet mindset. You can get results in eating a lot of food, a lot of nutrients, and feel satisfied, energized, and make sure that you are not losing muscle. So we want to target the fat. So how do we do that? Making sure that our calories come from a high protein diet. So if we know how many calories have proteins, carbs, and fats, let's divide. So we have, let's get the first example. We are gonna eat 1,700 calories for a couple months. That's our first deficit. 30% of those calories are gonna come from protein, 35 from carbs, and 35 from fat. Why this ratio? This ratio is very balanced. It's 30, 35, 35. So to make things easy, why are we gonna calculate, start with 40, 50% of protein if right now you are not eating much protein? So start about 25, 30% of your calories from protein, and then you can increase that. And protein is key, high protein. It doesn't matter your goal, because protein has the highest thermogenic effect. What does that mean? When we eat food, when your body digests and metabolize that food, burns calories. So protein burns the most calories. So when you eat protein, your body burns more calories, and it's super satisfying. Among the 3 macros, protein is the more filling. So you are gonna feel fuller longer. So more protein, and also it's gonna help you to retain and maintain your lean muscle, your muscle mass. So 30%, how does that look in numbers? So we have 1,700 calories, 30% of those calories coming from protein. How do we calculate that? Let me tell you how. Let's watch on the board. So protein, the 30% of protein, how we calculate that is we get the 1700 calories, multiply that for 0.30. That makes 510 calories coming from protein. And remember, protein 1 gram has 4 calories. So if you divide those 510 calories divided in 4, makes 127.5 grams of protein. I'm going to say this again, okay? Let's make it easy. 30% of your calories comes from protein. To calculate that 30%, grab a calculate on your phone, calculator, and you are going to get multiply your calories 0.30, 30%. The total of calories coming from protein are going to be 510. And to know in grams, we want to know how many grams of protein we need, how many grams, 30%, how many grams are. 127.5. Let's say 128. So 128 grams of protein every day, that's 30% of your calories. Now we want to know carbohydrates, 35%, and 35% fats, very balanced diet. 35% of carbohydrates, if we have 1,700 calories, 35% coming from carbohydrates, we do the same math. Multiply 1,700 per 0.35 this time because it's 35%, and that makes about 600 calories coming from carbohydrates. And if you divide those 4, makes about 148 grams of carbohydrates. That's 35% of your calories coming from carbohydrates. And the last one, fats. 35% of your calories coming from fats. But remember, fats, 1 gram has 9 calories. So we do the same math with carbohydrates. About 600 calories come from fats. But also 600 calories come from carbohydrates. That was about 150 grams. But because fats have more calories, that's going to make 66 grams of fat. So, summarizing, first deficit, if we are very sedentary, we are 180, we weigh 180 pounds, we want to go down to 150, but we are going to break down first goals in 10 pounds. First goal, 170 pounds. We multiply that 10 times. That makes our first deficit 1,700 calories. And we are going to eat 30% of those calories from protein, 35 from carbs, and 35 from fats. That makes, in one day, my goal should be to eat about 130 grams of protein, 150 of carbs, and 66 grams of fat. So this is our first calculation. You can use this first same example if you go higher in calories. And to make things even super easy and simple for you, I would say go and try to work on your protein first. Your protein, try to reach those 30% of those 130 grams of protein each day. And then you can go even higher. And again, protein is going to help you, especially when we are in deficit. It's easier, when we lose weight, it's easier to lose muscle, to keep that muscle maintained. And also, you can even build the muscle while in deficit if your high protein intake is very high. So make sure that you focus on one macronutrient, and then the other two, if they go up and down, it really doesn't matter. This is just science, numbers. But then you have to try things on your own and see if, for some people, going higher in carbohydrates works best for them. And for other people, going lower in carbohydrates works best for them. And to end this video with some examples of macros, proteins. Proteins, we find proteins in meats like chicken, turkey, red meat. We find protein on eggs, but also eggs have healthy, good fats. In fats, we find fats on cheese, avocado. We find nuts, all the nuts, walnuts, almonds. Most of those are fats. And then carbohydrates, all the fruits are carbohydrates, all the veggies, carbohydrates, rice, carbohydrate, quinoa, carbohydrate. Quinoa also has protein, good source of protein. Beans have protein and carbohydrates, but we categorize beans most in the carbohydrate macro. But for if you are vegan or plant-based, you are gonna eat lots of beans. Tofu is a good source of protein as well if you don't eat protein from animals. Pea protein also. So these are just a few examples. But now, if you feel after all of this, you feel like I need, I don't know, I need more to know more. I don't know where to start. I don't really know what are my numbers, how to calculate them based on my activity level, based on my basal metabolic rate. If we talk about that, I'm offering you 30 minutes of a virtual coffee with me. So if you want to discuss your personal goals, your personal background, the things that you have tried before, maybe you have tried this before, didn't work. Let's talk about why it didn't work. And I'm gonna add the link to my calendar so you can book 30 minutes with me having that virtual coffee. Let's talk about your unique and personalized needs. So this is all for today. I hope this helps. This is the easiest way that I can explain how to calculate your numbers. And of course, then you have to track with, you can track with an app, or you can track, there's so many apps out there, super easy to track. I don't want to say super easy, but once you get it, it's very easy. Again, this is Elena Rivera Galaz, nutrition coach, personal trainer, and master health coach. And today I help you how to calculate your calories and macros to lose weight, to lose fat, and a healthy deficit, and without starving yourself. See you soon. See you next time, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Bye.